One of the most frustrating things about ADHD is knowing what the other person is gonna say, but still having to wait and letting them finish their whole thought. And it's the polite thing to do, to let people finish their thoughts and to not interrupt. But when you have ADHD and you struggle to regulate your attention and you struggle to regulate your mood and emotions, it can be very difficult to just sit there and let them say what they're gonna say because you already know what they're gonna say. And I struggle with this. I struggle with this really bad still, but I've gotten a lot better because now instead of interjecting and interrupting and cutting off the other person, I'll do my best to watch. I'll just sit there and be patient. I'll watch. And what I'm watching for is I'm watching their lips. I'm looking to see when they arrive at a natural pause, and then I can interject and say my thing. And it's taken a lot of practice over the course of many years to get better at this. And I still struggle every now and then where I just can't help but to jump in because I gotta cut you off because I can say what you're about to tell me, but I can say it in a third of the time. So that way I'm saving time for myself, I'm saving you time. It's a win-win in my head, but the other person is more than likely gonna be frustrated and they may be offended that you jumped in and you cut them off without letting them finish their full thought. So when it comes to this type of impulsivity, I think it's important to not judge yourself first and foremost. Understand that you have ADHD and it's a condition. It's not an excuse, but it's an explanation. This condition explains the majority of the symptoms that you exhibit. So because you have ADHD, you might cut people off, whether that's on the road, on the freeway, or whether it's in conversation. You may have a hard time managing your emotions. You may be impulsive with certain purchases that you make. You might spend more money than you have. You may do all these things, and it can be very frustrating to live with this condition. But you have to first make it okay to have ADHD. It's going to be, I don't want to say impossible, but it's going to be very difficult to get better and to make, positive improvements to your life if you are low-key hating on yourself because you have this condition. So you have to understand that, okay, I got this condition. It makes me want to cut people off, and I won't do it, but I understand that in my head, I know what they're going to say. And perhaps you can finish their thought in your head and just kind of sit back, let them talk, and do the whole thing where you're smiling and you're nodding your head. The whole time you know what they were going to say. And for the most part, whenever you have that impulse to cut somebody off, you're right about 95% of the time. The thing that you thought they were going to say, they end up saying it. And then you ask yourself, okay, well, we wasted all this time and I could have saved myself an extra minute and a half, but I let this person go into this long-winded story and all these extra words, but no additional meaning. But one thing I want y'all to keep in mind is that when we tell stories, because we have ADHD as well, sometimes we also give too many words and unnecessary details that aren't needed. So the same patience that we give to people when we're hearing them out is also the same patience that we would appreciate or when we're talking about something that we're excited about. So it goes both ways. Don't judge yourself, but just understand that it goes both ways and we can get better at this. What's up, y'all? This is Dr. Kojo here. My new course, Understanding Autism 101 with Dr. Kojo, is out now. I've been working on it for a while and I'm so happy to release it to y'all. If you have autism or if somebody that you know has autism and you want to learn more about the condition, click the link in my bio or use the link here to access the course. Can't wait to see y'all and thank you for your attention.